What happens when you take good intentions and good vibes and you put it together with really bad organization and planning? You get a very eye-opening experience at the Colorado Holistic Fair as a vendor, like I recently did.
Story time.
Now, I'm not the kind of person who likes to go and rain on other people's parades. That is not my claim to fame, and if you guys follow me on here at all, you probably already know that. But I am going to be real, and I am going to share the truth, and I am going to share a fair critique when necessary, and I have one. I recently was a vendor at the Colorado Holistic Fair, and this was my second festival that I did pretty much ever as a vendor. And this was my very first experience with the Colorado Holistic Fair. And needless to say, it did not exactly go the way that I had hoped that it was going to. Leading up to any major event, it's only natural to promote it and market it and all that good stuff so the public knows that it's coming around. And I definitely did my part in that, in promoting the Colorado Holistic Fair, because I wanted people to know that I was going to be there and be able to come out and see me. And usually when you're doing those kinds of things, the organizer of the event will also promote the event because they want it to do well also. And ironically, I never saw any marketing, any promotions, any social media, nothing from them whatsoever. Even if I wasn't a reader going to this event and working the event, I still would have been in their target market to see their advertising, and I never saw anything. For reference, before this event, about a month before this event, I did the Body, Mind, Spirit celebration. And for those of you who are familiar with Body, Mind, Spirit, it is a nationwide run organization. They do an amazing job. They're super organized, super professional, and I had an absolute blast when I did that festival. That was actually my very first one ever, and I don't know, I guess because it was my first one and it went so well, I just kind of figured the next one would go well too. But when I did the Body, Mind, Spirit one, they of course promoted it. I promoted it. We would share one another's stuff. There was cross promotion going on. Now, mind you, I would tag the Colorado Holistic Fair to do cross promotion, but it was crickets. Literally nothing. Nothing happened whatsoever. And you better believe all those crickets chirping on social media in terms of the marketing added up to some crickets at the actual event. I lost money on this situation. I invested money in my vendor booth and I didn't even recoup that back to me. I made less than $100 doing this event and only 3 readings. In comparison to Body, Mind, Spirit, that's a huge loss because, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I made bank at Body, Mind, Spirit and it was a really good event. And I am going back again in the fall for the Denver Body, Mind, Spirit Expo, so I'm really excited for that and I hope you guys will see me over there when that comes up. But I know I'm kind of putting the Colorado Holistic Fair on blast right now. I'm just being honest and sharing my experience. Maybe they have had previous festivals, fairs that have been successful. I don't know. I've never been to any of the other ones before, not as a vendor and not as a attendee, a person who just goes and participates in it. I have zero context. I just know based off the context of the situation that I was recently in, and it didn't go so well. And it doesn't make me want to go back and re-sign up as a vendor. So am I worried about going back as a vendor after, I don't want to say talking smack, because like I said, I don't know enough information based on other experiences, how they are. I'm just speaking from my personal one individual experience here of what I've had. I'm not interested in doing it again because I'm not interested in having another loss like this. Another thing I can't exactly say I was a super big fan of was the meditation circle at the beginning before the doors even opened. It was almost kind of like a forced thing where you had to join this meditation circle and you had to hold hands with total strangers in order to do the meditation. I would have been more comfortable just maybe going to the circle and not touching people. I don't know, like people I don't know. It was weird. It was awkward. It was uncomfortable. That's not meditative to me. I feel everyone has their own unique ways of how they kind of get in the vibe and get in that space, and it should never ever be forced like that. So yeah, that definitely wasn't for me. End result of the Colorado Holistic Fair ultimately led to no one being there, no one showing up. I am a big believer though in making lemonade out of lemons, and even though there was like no one there, I was definitely trying to take advantage of the moment in the moment. And one of the days I went live right here on TikTok at the Colorado Holistic Fair, and I was walking around the entire grounds there, just kind of talking to each vendor, each psychic, each tarot reader, astrologer, so on and so forth, the different crystal shop owners. I was talking to everybody, giving everyone their moment to kind of shine and sparkle and be in the spotlight and do the very cross-promoting thing that just wasn't happening, basically. I figured if we were going to do this, we were at least going to try. So I was trying to get the word out there as much as possible, even though it didn't necessarily go so well. While the Colorado Holistic Fair was not a blessing ultimately in the financial abundance arena, I am very grateful for it in the sense of the connections that I made. And that is ultimately the little piece of gold that I take in my heart from this entire experience, because I met some amazing, wonderful new people there, the other fellow tarot readers, Reiki practitioners, astrologers, so on and so forth, mediums, etc., all the psychics. I definitely made some really cool new friends, and it was a great time to just network and connect with others. And that's the treasure that I am taking from this weekend, are the people and the relationships that were made from the weekend of the Colorado Holistic Fair. So you win some, you lose some. I understand not every single one is going to be absolutely fruitful and successful, but you definitely hope to at least, break even, I guess you could say. But I am making my breaking even being the connections I made. And I'm mainly making this video just because it's just like, if you're a psychic, a tarot reader, an astrologer, any of those things, and you're doing these festivals and you happen to come across the Colorado Holistic Fair, of course, it is your prerogative to do whatever it is that you want. And if you want to choose to do this particular event, more power to you. I hope it goes better for you than it did for me. But I did at least want to let you know, just so you kind of know what you're getting into in the event of anything. So that's my story from the Colorado Holistic Fair, and I will see you guys around. Keep sparkling, my friends.